And welcome back to another episode of Swiss Army Sports. I am your host, Will Spain, former long snapper of the Troy Trojans, also be governors, a little bit of Houston, transfer portal demon. I'm joined by my co-host, Luke Wallman, former D3 offensive lineman for the Hendricks Warriors. We are not joined yet again by resident frat boy. He had a big weekend, and I think that is partially why he's not here. Big Michael Spain had to go to church, get some homework done. I believe that may be partially due to the long night he had last night, and we will get into that, why it was such a long night. We are going to give y'all a college football week 2 recap. The panic meter, it's back. We're going to give our dogs of the week for week 2, our top 25, which, again, we'll get into it. We do not like the AP poll.
Yeah.
It is terrible this week. Our NFL week 1 recap to date. The NFL teams of the week and the teams that are weak. Our Monday Night Football preview and best bets. We're going to touch on the UFC Fight Night. We didn't really get to watch it, and again, we'll talk about why. But banger of a card, from what I heard. We're going to touch around the worldwide world of sports, and let y'all know how our weekend was. So, getting right into it, the boys got to see some bangers this weekend.
I know. I would have wished to be at least Michael's game. I mean, that would have been awesome. State. He went to the Mississippi State game, and he got to see an absolute thriller. State beating the top 15 team, storming the field. That just would have been electric if y'all would have been able to go. I wish I could have been down there.
Absolutely, and I was jealous too, especially after halftime.
Mm-hmm.
However, yeah, Michael got to have the college experience of a lifetime. He got to rush the field, although against the number 12 team in the country, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to rushing the field. Top 5 team. Got to be a top 5 team. But I get it. 2-10 last year.
Yeah. State is awful. I think if you beat even top 10 on a normal basis, but depending on where you are with State, if Kentucky would have beaten Ole Miss, I maybe would have been okay, just because Kentucky's a dumpster fire.
No, I agree.
So,
yeah.
I think it all
there are circumstances.
Yes.
And I, fired up for the Bulldogs. I'm repping the jersey today from the Egg Bowl, gold jerseys. Luke's wearing the Memphis State shirt.
Yeah.
Respect, a little throwback.
I can't wear the Michigan stuff.
No, we'll get into that. Didn't even feel the need, a little preview, to throw them on the panic meter. I thought they looked all right. Again, we'll get into that then.
Yeah.
I had a great, including the rain delay, 2 hours in Clemson, South Carolina. The mighty Trojans of Troy collected their fat check and gave the Clemson Tigers all they could handle this Saturday. Not what I expected at all.
I'm with you on that. The goose was loose.
Yeah, the goose was loose. And here's the thing, and we'll break it down a little bit more, but I'll just go ahead and touch on this Troy game right now. Referees bailed him out. 3rd and long, PI was BS. The goose was loose. The 2 interceptions he threw hit off receivers' hands, then proceeded to bang up into the air, get intercepted by Clemson. So the Trojans were right there the entire game. Got to, not give up a touchdown on the first drive of the second half against, a top 10 team in the country. Then you knew they were going to come storming back. You had to stop momentum while you could. They couldn't do it. End of the day, I was a proud Troy alumni there. I'm going to touch on this. It's going to be a controversial subject within my family. I did not have a pleasant experience with the Clemson faithful.
Really?
No. My girlfriend was ran over, told to get the F out.
Southern hospitality.
Yeah, we were. So I've played a lot of road games, obviously, and my dad always lets me know how the opposing crowd is. Based on what he's let me know and how I've been treated on sidelines, and then how I was treated at this game by the Clemson fans, this was a bottom experience as a road fan. Yeah. We're a G5 team, excuse me. We're going to get excited when we're winning, especially when we're up 16-0 against a top 10 team in the country. And there were some people around us. So during the rain break, just to break it down, me and Chloe went and took some pictures by the field. We're excited we're here. We're visiting my sister. It's a great place to be
stadium.
at. Great stadium. And this group of frat guys just giving us hell. Like, where the hell is Troy now? Like, it's a rain delay, dude. I don't care how many beers you've had. You can't be that stupid. We were winning at the time, by the way. And when we started losing, you would have thought Clemson was beating LSU. The way they were treating Troy fans, it started becoming personal. Like, there were some people behind us that started personally targeting me, Chloe. My mom said she turned around, stared, and gave my mom a look. But Clemson fans, if you're listening to this, do better. We're a G5 team, dude. Y'all were favored by 30.5, and we should have beaten y'all. So I don't think y'all should have been that excited. Again, I had good experiences with some fans. They were polite. But I would say the vast majority, I had a sour taste coming out of that game just because of the way the Troy Fable was treated. Yeah. And Troy has a great history of beating P5 teams. The fact that, on social media, Clemson fans are saying, who even is Troy? I had to look up who Troy was. Buddy, if you're really a Clemson fan, if you're, a diehard, you knew who we were in 2016 when we lost by 6 and should have won that game, too. And y'all ended up winning the national championship that year. So maybe, Clemson, you have a little hope now. You survived another scare from Troy. Natty bound?
It's good for my picks.
But good for mine. I had him in the playoff. I'll be heading back there in 2 weeks when they play Syracuse. I will root for Clemson. My sister goes there.
I would come dressed out in Syracuse gear.
Look, here's the thing. I'm tempted. Don't you know me? I'm tempted. Would I be mad if they lost? No, because of the way I was treated. And for example, my dad said when we went and visited Iowa, it was the most gracious, and we were winning at the half of that game too. Most gracious fans ever. They were so polite, said they were happy we made the trip. We got no such reception at Clemson. And I was disappointed. But beautiful campus, great game atmosphere. Especially before the rain started. That place was packed.
Really?
It was packed. It was loud, and the Troy Trojans shut them up. So, end of the day, great weekend for the boys. Got to see some great football games. Me and Luke, it's kind of up in the air. Got a high school football game in Nashville, so the travel is going to be a little bit tough. You could see us down in Trojan country this Saturday. Swiss Army Sports, live from Troy, Alabama, versus the Memphis Tigers. So,
Tigers.
Look, man, after last week, confidence is at all-time high. Confidence is at all-time high. At the Vet, and not to mention, Memphis struggled against Georgia State for 2 quarters. It wasn't what I thought I was going to see. I thought the 13.5 was going to be easily covered by Memphis.
They turned it on the second half for sure. I do think a little bit plays into it. Well, let's talk about it.
We'll talk about in the recap.
We get to the slate.
But most importantly, mentioned about Georgia State, I can't believe TJ Finley played.
That's what I was actually going to say. I think it's more like a Taylor Heineke in the playoffs, where he you don't have a lot of film on him. I get Finley's had been 5 years, but you don't know how they're going to use him. And I think that might have maybe disrupted a little bit, but still,
absolutely. But I was just questioning how they scored points with a quarterback that's been in the system for 5 days.
Oh, I know.
Anyway, our week 2 picks, for some of us, went vastly better than last week. Some of us. Ole Miss, we clean swept. Iowa State did not cover. Boo.
I know. I cannot believe. I was watching that game. They dominated Iowa in the first quarter, and I thought, this is how this whole game's going to go. They marched down, they scored. I was like, holy crap! And then it's like they took a step back. It's like, oh, we got this in the bag, and then they just let Iowa hang around until the very end and just couldn't cover.
And touching Ole Miss, I didn't get to watch the game. I'm just following on the score. But again, shout out the score. Way better than the ESPN app.
For sure.
The ESPN app, they say it's redone, revamped. It's the same crappy app. It falters all the time, lags, won't show up when you want it to show up.
Takes 5 minutes to load.
5 minutes to load in. The score is 10 times better, operated by a Canadian company. Shout out Canada. But just by the way the game went, we both think Kentucky's a bottom feeder SEC team. Ole Miss in trouble.
Yes.
And that will be hinted by why they're on a certain segment of our show just a little bit later. We called it. Let's go. I was looking at the score in the stadium, and I was like, overtime. Double overtime. Baylor. Oh, my God. I was like, we're stoked because we saw Sawyer Robertson turning it up in week 2, and SMU could not handle him.
Yeah.
Is it time to worry, SMU fans? We'll see. But Mike Linton here to defend himself. L.
Yeah. I mean, never against an SEC team, I get picking against Baylor, but you've got that classic Big 12 offense with Baylor. They don't play a lick of defense. I think their offense, judging off the first game SMU had and playing Auburn, Baylor's offense looked miles ahead better. I mean, I thought it was a lock. I put some money on it. It was great. I was freaking out for like the whole game, but freaking clutched up in the end.
Absolutely. We talked about it for a while. I hinted at it. I didn't want to pull the trigger. I said, and you can go back to last episode, this could be an outright upset. Not just cover. I said they were going to cover, and then it was no doubt. But I said there was a chance the USF Bulls marched into the swamp and won this football game. And sure enough, Grammatica, game winner as a chip shot. Did you see the video of the coaches?
Oh, from the press box?
Yeah, from the press box.
Awesome.
That embodies college football.
Mm-hmm.
USF is here. Yeah. They're here. They are the G5 team to beat right now in my mind. And Florida. Man. And so it's a question. You saw USF week 1. Is it more USF's really that good? Because their defense has literally given up 23 points in 2 weeks versus 2 top 25 teams. Or is Florida faltering? We'll get into it.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. Luke, I told you.
Dude, my only thing was, I'm like, man, we can't clean sweep 4 games.
I agree.
So, I have to go Arizona State, which Levitt was awful. Oh, was so bad. That was shocking how bad he was. They ran the ball fine, but he was so terrible. Like, that is what shocked me.
Mississippi State. So, I just got done watching Troy blow a 16-0 lead. I literally thought I was living deja vu. I was like, both teams I root for are going to be up 16, 17 points and below the lead after halftime. But sure enough, a go route to the end zone with 30 seconds of the game, and all hail broke loose in Mississippi State. The goalposts are no longer in the stadium. The Dogs win again. They're 2-0. And finally, Mateer is him. The Oklahoma Sooners took care of business against a Michigan Wolverine team that thought they would.
I'm going to say this. I think offensively we were very limited. I think obviously Oklahoma's got great defense.
100%.
But when our coordinator is calling swing pass screens, wide receiver screens, you've got to stretch it a little bit because, I'm sitting back there at quarterback as Bryce Underwood, what he did last week, and all I'm doing is throwing little dump offs. I mean, then in my mind, I don't know if this is how every quarterback thinks, but a guy I played with in college said, if you want to get my confidence going, don't throw me like a flat, like some easy. Let me throw a go route. Let me throw like a deep post. Like, let me stretch the ball down the field. And they just never did that. They couldn't, and because they didn't do that, they couldn't get the run game going. So I think that really hurt them because they weren't able to stretch it down the field.
No, they never really established the run, which I think is one of Michigan's strengths. And they had to do that against this big SEC defensive line. You can't dink and dunk your way to a win against a top 25 SEC team. But I was, cautiously optimistic about Michigan over the beginning of the year. You had kind of talked me into being a little cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I would say I'm optimistic at this point.
Mhm.
I saw what I needed to saw out of the Michigan defense. They contained Mateer.
Oh, I
Mateer
know.
won the game, but they contained Mateer.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to play into a big role in Big Ten play.
Yeah. And, I mean, missing Barham, there's a few times where our linebacker number 2, they missed a few tackles. I mean, it wasn't like game-changing, but it did hurt a little bit that he was out for that first half. So, I mean, I think we're going to be fine because we only play Ohio State and I guess USC.
Who I guess is a force to be reckoned with.
I know. They've been dropping points on people. So,
Well, there's our leaderboard. Again, there's a punishment for last place in both college football, and I guess we're going to do it in the NFL too.
yeah.
Big Mike
Sorry.
barely holds on to the lead. I made a strong surge this week. Luke, we're getting there.
Hey, I won more games than I lost, or I went 500 this week.
500.
Better than last
Yeah,
week.
better than last week. All right, top 25 scores. I feel like we can spend some time on this, especially on game number 1 here. I didn't get to watch it because I was at the game. My associate's degree alma mater, Austin Peay State University,
Yeah,
held the Georgia Dogs to 28 points
I know.
and was like semi-competitive in this ball.
Yeah, it was,
What happened? Do you know what happened?
I mean, I know that I will say this: a bunch of these games had rainouts.
Yes.
So I think Georgia, they had like an hour delay. Now, I'm not pulling anything away from Austin Peay. The fact that Georgia only scored 28 points, I think is a huge issue. I get Austin Peay. They're looking like a very good FCS
So,
team.
we're Swiss Army. Is Austin Peay an FCS playoff frontrunner at this point? And I would say yes.
Yeah, no. Dude, they beat MTSU, and then they do this against the number 4 team in the country. That's no easy task, especially for an FCS school.
There are SEC teams that will play much worse than the Governors did against Georgia. Right below it, heartbreaker of the week for me. I think the rain delay hurt us. We had just gotten the ball back after a 3 and out. Again, we ended up going down. I think we punted that first drive. Kicked field goal, got a pick 6 at the goal line in the second quarter. That was electric.
Mhm.
Then we were a ghost on offense. Halftime struck 16-3, and we did not see the offense again, pretty much. Now, defensively, we had a really bad mistake on targeting. Our best safety, number 8, White, tossed in the second quarter. Ended up getting burned on some deep routes later in the game, missing him. Again, this is a fun little stat. And you can fact check me on this. It was late last night when I was checking on it. And I'm talking about our listeners. You can comment if
Okay.
I'm wrong. Clemson had 3 penalties for 30 yards. Troy had 10 for 97. 7 of those penalties for Troy were in the second half. Clemson had 1, and it was offsetting, and it gave Clemson a pick. Now, I thought offsetting penalties meant replay the down. Apparently not in
Yeah.
ACC.
I thought it was always. We saw it in the NFL today.
Yep.
The Lions, I think, scooped up a fumble or something. They had offsetting penalties, so they replayed.
That interception, it was a triple deflection, hit off the dude's butt, foot, and then caught by the defender. Changed the outcome of this game. And we were deep in our own territory. It was picked off. Troy should have won this game 9 times out of 10 if you were to play in a simulation with the exact way it was played. That screams something may be wrong in Clemson, South Carolina. The Dogs win. Ole Miss looks shaky.
The quarterback play is going to be a big thing. He threw 2 picks in both of his games.
Yep.
I mean,
Austin Simmons is a big question mark right now.
yeah, because we'll get to it later because I think they're on
Yeah, they are.
the next segment.
Ohio State covered 55.5. I told my dad, yeah, that line isn't even big enough. I promise you.
Hey, Grambling's band showed up.
Yes, they
Played some
did.
back. I mean, it was electric.
It was electric. A team I'm starting to get really big on. I know it's an FCS team, but man, the Utes look good. I mean, they're hanging numbers. Their defense is looking incredible. This was a scoreline I saw Not a game I got to watch. LSU struggling against
La Tech
La Tech.
only up 10-0 at the half. Like that, dude. I get you just beat Clemson.
A little bit of a hangover,
I know you
maybe.
have a little bit of a hangover. You're the number 3 freaking team in the country. You at least got to win by like, say the line was like 45. You got to win by at least 30 something.
You got to cover.
Yeah, I mean, or at least be close to around.
At least,
30.
yeah.
But, man,
Which Clemson and LSU were both nowhere near their numbers. They've got Florida next week. You could have saw them looking ahead, and they probably didn't prepare for La Tech at all, coming off the Clemson win.
mm-hmm.
So they got the job done, which is why I'm not like too concerned with LSU. It was still a multiple possession win.
Yeah.
Miami did what they needed to do. We covered Oklahoma, Michigan. I want to touch on this. Do you see that scoreline? Oklahoma State's a Power 5 team, y'all.
Yeah.
69-3. Mike Gundy should have never opened his mouth. I mean, why would you add fuel to the fire? You got 69 dropped on you. You're a Power 5 team, and you managed to put up 3? Oregon took Oklahoma State to church, took them out back, and whipped their ass. I mean, it is unreal what the Ducks are doing in Eugene.
Yeah, no, they freaking. I was shocked. Like, I thought they would win by like at least 30.
Yeah.
But like,
Not like that, though.
60. Like, Dante Moore played great. They have a running back, had 4 carries, 91 yards. I mean, they scored 41 in the first half. That is absurd.
Absurd. I got to catch a little bit of this game. Arch Manning did not look good. Did not look good again.
I know.
Again, against a very bad San Jose State team. There's some question marks in Texas right now in Austin. Iowa State got the job done. It was a sloppy game like you expected that game to be, I guess. It happens every year. I fall for that trap every year. Iowa State's the better team every year for the last 5 years at least.
Hey, first time that a home team has won in this rivalry since 2011.
Little update for y'all. The Bills are up 7-0.
Kincaid, I think, or one of the Titans.
It was Dalton Kincaid. Wow. Ravens got the ball. Tennessee did what they should have done against McNamara. Penn State, again,
Dude.
Offense is not impressing me at all.
I know.
Their defense is pitching shutouts.
Yeah,
But, man, these are some really inferior opponents.
I know.
I wanted to see more out of a potential title contender, at least I thought, in Penn State. 34-0 versus FIU does not impress me at all.
I know. Only being up 10-0 at the half. I mean,
Again,
like, I get maybe scoring 10 points in a quarter against FIU, but going that whole first half, I mean, Aller only threw 19 of 33, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, you have got to see more from him. This is a potential top quarterback pick in this draft. And, of course, they just ran all over him. But, like, I mean, 34 points? I think
Nope.
the line was like 40-something.
It's back-to-back weeks they've had a massive line and come really nowhere close to covering it. USF, shocker of the week probably, beating Florida at home.
Mm-hmm.
FSU looked dominant again against Commerce back-to-back FBS games. That's tough road there for the Golden Lions.
But holy crap, they killed them. Like,
I mean, it was
they
murder.
killed him.
Illinois faltered at the beginning. Got to catch this game a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up dominating Duke, which is a great sign for the Illini.
Yeah.
Duke, somewhat up there in the ACC this year in terms of preseason hype. Illinois shut them down, and the Illini looked great.
Yeah, and if I'm a Blue Devil fan, I'm not mad at that because they really just turned it on in that second half. First half, Duke was giving them fits. They were turning them over. They were making them punt. I mean, so Manny Diaz, I think they have a solid squad there.
100%. We touched on this. Baylor, big upset on the road against SMU. Indiana covered when I didn't think they would. They looked good against this Kennesaw State team, even though it was a little iffy in the first half. I believe it was like 21-6 at the half. Texas A&M, another one of those weird A&M G5 games. They double up Utah State, but 44-22 isn't exactly what I see at home for A&M.
Yeah.
But you know what? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm not. even though Indiana and A&M both won convincingly, I have not been impressed with Indiana, and same with A&M.
I mean,
I don't know why A&M is so high in the AP poll, and Indiana on my thing has been 25 the last 2 weeks. I mean, but
yeah,
at least they kind of took care of business this week, so
they did.
can't complain about that.
Bama. Wow. So I figured this game was going to get ugly. I did not think it was going to be 73-0 ugly. Especially with Ty Simpson only playing the first half. Bama came out and did exactly what they needed to do for their fan base, and which was hang a massive number on a mid-tier sub-belt team, something Clemson could not do. Although we think Troy's going to be pretty good this year, and they kind of showed it. But a lot of, the experts had ULM picked ahead of Troy, and Alabama, wow. And same with Texas Tech. Another Texas Tech number hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but at least Kent State, they scored a few times.
Scored a few times.
Much better than Kent State of old.
It is. They actually struck the end zone, which is more than what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
It's a weird game. I think that game was like super close in the first.
Was the Fighting Elliott Yanishes of South Carolina State. E-Bug, shout out their punter. 38-10. Another rain delay game, though. And that does play an effect. I think if you're a team like South Carolina, pretty much no matter what you're going to do, you're going to win this game. Hard to get up and get hype again after a rain delay, especially for, an inferior FCS opponent.
Yeah. But I want to say one more thing about the Bama. I think ULM was one of the most bet on underdogs.
They weren't.
Which was just
a mistake.
Yeah.
Moving on. The panic meter. No Mikey on the panic meter this week. So his little face will not be appearing. However, you've got the two most gorgeous faces on the panic meter. Obviously. Arizona State. I think it's almost hit the fan. This is not the Arizona State team we remember last year. And I think Kenny Dillingham hinted to this in fall camp. Mm-hmm. He said, fan base, don't be mad at me. Don't be shocked when we go 5-7, 6-6, 3-9, because he didn't feel that good about his squad. He didn't think they were as bought in as last year, and he didn't think they were returning the same level of talent. And I'm not going to go that far yet. I don't think they're going to be that bad. I think that's just Kenny Dillingham being the kind of coach he is. But it's almost at the fan for Arizona State. You went on the road and lost to a alleged bottom feeder SEC team in a very harsh environment. I get that. But if you're going to be the playoff contender, Arizona State, I thought they were going to, and everybody else in the world probably thought they were going to be. You can't go on the road and lose to Mississippi State, even though before the season started, called it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm split between it. I obviously don't feel good about them. If it was at home or a neutral site, they'd be almost hit the fan. But since it's in Starkville at night, it's probably the most packed game potentially all year because they're 1-0 coming into it. It's not like they had the letdown of a lifetime already. I'm like, ugh. And the way they lost too on that, how do you let them as a corner or safety or whatever, let the guy run right by you?
100%.
I'm not an expert on defense. I'm not a defensive back. I'm pretty sure you were told don't let him behind you.
Nope.
So
you're not supposed to, believe it or not. And for anyone listening to us on Spotify, not on YouTube, there's 5 tiers. The top one, we Gucci, be the best. Calm down, we good. The 4th, I don't feel good about this. The 3rd, it's almost hit the fan. The 2nd, and then the bottom tier is oh shit. So, yeah, Arizona State, we'll have to see how they respond.
Yeah, and they've got a tough schedule, too.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They got a tough schedule.
Florida. You're kind of low on this, so I want to hear from you first.
I just think that I don't mean it to be almost in between. It's just I don't feel good about this. You're at home. and you lose to I get USF's good. You cannot lose that game in the Swamp. Like, again, neutral site, even at USF, I'm like, okay, the Swamp is supposed to be one of the hardest places to play.
100%.
Also, you have some absolute bonehead plays. A Florida dude did his best Jalen Carter impression.
I saw that.
And decides not just a loogie, but the full-on spray the guy.
It was a big spray.
Like, so, I mean, obviously, like, Florida's usually got a reputation to have a bunch of, like, thugs down there. And I just think, I don't know. I don't think DJ Lagway played his best game.
No, he did not.
So, I mean, he had the interception. And with how hyped up this Florida team was with the offense, and I know Michael is not here to defend them, but he's big on Lagway. I mean, they did not look good at all.
No, they did not. But I'm in the calm down we good section. And this because after the past 2 weeks, I'm now a believer in the Bulls. I think Golish, and we talk about this week in, now week out. This USF team is going to be a force to be reckoned with, even when it comes. If they make it to the playoffs, I would not want to play them. Mm-hmm. That experience at quarterback from Byron Brown, the defense is elite up front. They do not give up any running yards. They're a solid secondary that through DJ Lagway fits. We saw them dominate Boise State, and now we see them, hold the Florida Gators to 16 points and get the job done on offense to win against an SEC, upper-tier SEC defense. I think Florida may have been looking to LSU next week, same as LSU was with Lautag. And they didn't see this coming. They didn't respect. They thought, oh, Boise State must be that much more down because of Jency being gone. Then, oh, maybe USF has something in Tampa. And it came back to bite them. But that's why I'm in the word calm down, we good. And they could very well be back on this meter next week. We're going to have to find out what they're doing against LSU.
Also, these Florida fans need to stop acting like they just lost to the worst team in the world.
I know.
Dude, I get Napier's been on the hot seat for the last few years, but we got to calm down. You just lost to a really good USF team. Now, if y'all lose to LSU and then maybe the next team you play, okay, I'm worrying a little bit. But we need to calm down.
It needs to calm down.
Need to calm down.
Exactly. Calm down. We good, Florida fans. It's going to be all right. The Ponies. And the only reason calm down, we good is because I am that big of a believer in Sawyer Robertson and Baylor's offense. I do not know if SMU will face an offense like that again this year. So I think with this week ACC schedule, and pull it up for me if you don't mind. Let's take a look at this.
They're Clemson.
Yeah, but I just watched Clemson's offense play.
Yeah. And they have
so
TCU.
The only thing I'd worry about right now is TCU and Clemson and Miami. Those are 3 games I'd worry about. I'm not worried about Louisville right now. Boston College, Cal, Wake Forest.
Syracuse.
I'm not worried about Syracuse. They're running sprints after games. And a little inside info, they have a really big locker room problem right now in Syracuse.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, they are not happy with the head coach with the whole sprinting thing. They are practicing today. And that's thanks Twitter for the random facts again on the Syracuse Orange. They got Missouri State next week. They're going to be able to bounce back. I think SMU is able to get back on the right track of things. I think they go into TCU and win that game.
They have dominated them as of late because last year they beat them by like 60 or something. Yeah. And I know SMU and TCU do not like each other.
Hate each other.
Like your classic private school, like prep kids of hating each other. That is that rivalry.
100%. They're so close to each other. I think SMU goes in and wins that game. So calm down, SMU fans. Luke, you don't feel too good about this.
Could not stop a soul on the ground.
No, they could not.
Dude, that defense, I think their offense is great. And you're right, they probably won't go up against an offense. But as we know, Baylor has absolutely no defense whatsoever. So, I would be a little bit worried just from the fact that their defense looks so bad. And I don't think their defense last year was really it wasn't bad by any means. But, that defense was freaking awful. So that is why I'd be a little bit worried. But you did say they play a weak ACC schedule. So,
yep, I would not be too worried yet. And for the first time, we have a winning team on the panic meter. The Ole Miss Rebels. We had Kentucky pretty unanimously across the board at an over-under of 2.5 wins. Ole Miss struggled the majority of this game and walked out of there with a 7-point win. Yes, you won the game. No, you did not dominate as you should have. If you really want to be at the top of the SEC, you beat the hell out of Kentucky at wherever you're playing. Don't care if it's at home. Don't care if it's at the road. It doesn't like your head into some hostile environment in Lexington, Kentucky football. If it was a basketball game, yeah, maybe. But not a football game. So I don't feel good about this, Rebel fans. Your quarterback looks like dog crap. And Lane Kiffin will run the score up if he could. And he did not. 30-23. I've got alarms sounding in Oxford.
Yeah, because I think they're right now pretty comparable to, like, say, Tennessee.
100%.
When Tennessee plays Kentucky, they beat the crap out of them. Even when, like, they had Will Levis and there were some good Kentucky teams, they still beat the crap out of them. I mean,
Ole Miss can't do it.
I know. I get it's their kryptonite, but, like, dude, this is where you go prove, hey, we're here. We're going to be back atop the SEC again. We're going to be fighting for that playoff spot. But Austin Simmons has looked awful. Some of these throws he's made, I mean, dude, it's like we don't got Jackson Dart anymore. So it's going to be a wake-up call.
And I do want to pull this up real quick. Ole Miss next week, and again, we all know what kind of non-conference schedule Lane Kiffin has for his Rebels. And I think that really hurts them in the long run. They have Arkansas next week.
They got Arkansas.
Okay. So in the next 3 weeks, they play Arkansas, Tulane, and LSU. That is a really tough 3-game stretch.
Mm-hmm.
With the way they are playing right now, and I know Tulane faltered against South Alabama last week, but they were winning comfortably a majority of that game.
Tulane, that's going to be like...
It's going to be a tough game for the Rebels. That's going to be a really tough game for the Rebels. I think John Serball has a decent shot to come in there and knocking them off. And let's not forget about Arkansas. This team is taking care of business the way Ole Miss can't.
Mm-hmm. And their quarterback, Taylor Green.
And talk about a kryptonite.
Yeah.
Talk about a kryptonite. Talk to Ole Miss fans about Arkansas over the last 10 years. You've got Kentucky and Arkansas back-to-back. I'd be a little worried if I was Ole Miss fans.
Yeah.
It is not without the realm of possibility. They are 2-3 heading into Washington State.
And, I mean, they have a pretty tough schedule looking at it, too, because obviously Washington State should be a cakewalk. But you go Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, the Citadel, then Florida, and then State at the end of the year. I mean, State, this ain't the 2-10 State anymore.
Nope.
I think they're going to win a few more games this year.
100%. And staying on State, they could easily be 4-0 heading in that Tennessee game. They beat Tennessee. I don't think they win another game until – and that's just because the gauntlet that they have. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, pull it up for us. Mississippi State is going to be a damn good team this year. They play Tennessee at home. Then they got to go to A&M, Florida, Texas at home, which with the way Arch Manning's playing right now could easily falter in a very hostile Davis-Wade Stadium, to Arkansas at home against Georgia, to Missouri. So let's say State's 5-6. They've got the Egg Bowl at 11 a.m. at home on a Friday after Thanksgiving, and you best believe I'll be there. I don't feel good from the Rebels. Mississippi State is known to win that football game.
Yes.
In that situation, that could be Ole Miss's death kiss for a college football playoff bid. And then you start to wonder, is Lane Kiffin the guy?
Yeah.
But who are you going to replace him with? So, I mean, that's
And Ole Miss, realistically, got to win 9 games every year.
They're happy.
It's not like you're going to Bama and you have to win freaking 10 or 11. You got to win 9 games, be like top 15, and you're fine.
Yep.
So
100%. I agree. Dogs of the week. We have kind of hinted at all 3 of these guys. Whenever you have a perfect game as a quarterback, I'm going to throw you on here. I don't care who you're playing. And the only way I would not have thrown you on here is if you were playing an FCS team. You're playing an FBS team. Props to you, dude. Ty Simpson, you bounced back in the way you had to. 17 for 17, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns against, yes, an inferior Sunbelt team in UL Monroe. but you got pulled at halftime. That's his first half stats. That's incredible. I saw everything I wanted to out of Ty Simpson if I'm an Alabama fan, but my favorite quarterback on this list is next.
Robinson. This dude, I'm telling you, will have the stats to win the Heisman.
100%.
If they at least win 9 games, I seriously think he'll
be in New York.
Yes, I like his first 2 weeks. He's thrown for 400+ yards. He is a absolute dude. And it's not like he's like dumping it off, and the guy's like having yards after catch for like 30. He's throwing absolute dimes over the shoulder in the bread basket where only his receiver can get it. I mean, this dude looks like an NFL quarterback. He looks really freaking good, and I think he will be in New York in contention for that Heisman.
You know what hurts so much as a Mississippi State fan is he was a Bulldog for his freshman year and transferred to Baylor when Blake Shapen came up from Baylor to Mississippi State. God, I would give anything to have Sawyer Robertson instead of Blake Shapen right now, although Blake played well. Which segments into Michael, he got a little bit of this segment in. He submitted his top 25 poll, and he gave us his player of the week. Obviously, Brendan Thompson, game-winning touchdown, 6 receptions, 133 yards, 2 tutties. Dude played like the dog he had to be for the Dogs, and he is the conclusion of our Dogs of the Week. Okay. I'm going to pull up the AP poll, and I'm going to read it to y'all before I read y'all ours. Vastly different. The fact that the AP voters see the teams as they do right now, let's go on ours. We've stayed pretty chalk for our top 2. Ohio State 1, Penn State 2, wrong Tiger. LSU at 3. Oregon, we're impressed with you. You bumped up to 4. You've blown out 2 teams, and you blew out a solid Big 12 team, at least. I thought at the beginning of the year it was going to be a solid Big 12 team. Now some question marks around you after getting 69 hang on you. Oregon, you're at 4. Miami at 5. Georgia at 6. Texas at 7. Arch Manning does not look good. 8, Illinois. The Fighting Illini. You're looking good. You're looking really good. The Irish claim a spot in our poll on a bye week. Very typical of Notre Dame. Even on our own poll, that you'll jump a spot even if you're not playing a game. Florida State on our poll has jumped 5 spots to number 10.
Look dominant.
And they look dominant. Clemson, we are not impressed. You've dropped to 11. South Carolina wasn't impressed to move them up, sitting at 12. Oklahoma, big jump to 13. Texas Tech continually climbing our ranks. They haven't played anybody of significance yet, but the fact that they're going out here and just killing people the way they should,
good sign.
It's a great sign. USF, welcome to the poll. 15th team in the country. The Bulls, A&M 16, Vols 17. Bama bounce back at 18. Ole Miss at 19. Iowa State hanging out in that 20 range. They're at 20. Utah 21. After being introduced in the poll last week at 25th. 22. Indiana, not that impressed yet. Michigan falling to 23. Florida, don't know why we wouldn't keep you in since we're so impressed with USF, and since the poll seems impressed with USF. Don't know why anyone would vote Florida out of this top 25. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
but they're at 24. Welcome to the poll. The team that should be in the poll at number 25 in BYU. So let's pull up the AP polls. We have the top 3, top 4, top 5, top 6, top 7 in agreement. 8, y'all have Notre Dame. We have Illinois. 9, we have Notre Dame. Y'all have Illinois.
Yeah.
Fine. 10, FSU. Fine. 11, South Carolina. We have them 12. Fine. Clemson flip-flopped again. Oklahoma's the same. By the way, it's not like we were staring at the AP poll while we were filling this out. As a matter of fact, I try not to look at the AP poll before I fill this out.
I only look at the AP poll after to make sure I'm not missing somebody.
Yeah.
So
to make sure I'm not missing somebody. So I'm actually really surprised we were this in tune. Here's where I begin to have a problem. Iowa State is not the 14th best team in the country right now. We have Texas Tech there. I could see Tennessee at 15. That's not crazy. We have A&M at 16.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss at 17 is not crazy. I didn't expect them to bump USF as high as we did this early, but 18 is fine with me. Bama at 19 is fine. Utah at 20 is fine. Okay, here's how Indiana and Michigan at 22 and 23 is fine. This is where the AP poll and I start to have some problems. And there starts to be a little bit of and I'm a big SEC guy, there's a massive SEC bias in this. Texas Tech's at 21. I get you haven't played anybody yet, but this team looks absolutely miles ahead of, let's say, Iowa State, Bama,
I'd say
Ole
even
Miss,
A&M.
A&M. They look miles ahead of them. But at the AP poll, we don't vote with how we look, we see the games. We don't vote with how we think, oh, this team actually looks better than that team. No. What does everyone think? Like, what are the media saying? What did we put out last week? It's got to be something relative to that. No, there's not a fresh reset every week. You don't rank the top 25 teams by how they look. You just kind of sit in this little box. Here's my biggest problem. It sits at number 24. What in the world has Auburn done to get ranked?
No, I'm completely in agreement because, yes, they beat Baylor. But are we just saying that Florida had such a bad loss to USF, who is now in 18th team in the country, that we're killing them all the way out? They're dropping from 13 to, let's see,
28.
3 teams receiving votes over them. That is absurd.
Absurd.
That is the death penalty, basically. I don't think that they should have dropped that far. That is just crazy to me. And then at Missouri at 25, again, I don't know how you don't have BYU in. I get Missouri beat Kansas, Kansas is solid, but
BYU looks incredible.
I know BYU has stumped people, so that's another disagreement I have with it.
If you were to go look at the coaches poll, ladies and gentlemen, that's a little bit more resembling of how we think. BYU at 25. Arizona State getting completely bumped out is pretty brutal as well. Mm-hmm. I don't think Mississippi State's that bad.
Yeah.
The coaches poll completely dropped Florida as well. I don't believe giving Florida that big of a punishment. Yeah. So again, my big beef is with Auburn. I just don't get having Auburn there. The coaches poll has Georgia at 3. Wow, I don't get that either. So yeah, there's our top 25. So moving on to the NFL. This is obviously, we're recording this while Sunday Night Football is going on, giving you another update on I'm sure you're watching it. 10-7 Ravens, and they've got the ball in the red zone, kind of what I expected. I had the Ravens winning this, even though there I have the Bills winning it. I'm watching the games today. I was like, yeah, Baltimore's going to win this game. I hate myself for putting Buffalo on the screen because
that's what you're getting held to because you can't switch up now.
I can show you the slip if you want to see it. Yeah.
Slide does not lie.
Slide does not lie. So we have Buffalo winning this game across the board. I totally think Baltimore's going to win. Michael, again, I think actually, screw homework. I'm not going to say the other thing, but go to church, obviously. He's ducking this bear smoke. All right, he is ducking this smoke. He does not want to talk about this game.
Yeah, this is back-to-back podcast where he's just ducked.
He has ducked the bear smoke. He does not want to talk about the Bears. And I know he sure as hell doesn't want to talk about how the Broncos look today against the Tennessee Titans. All right, so going through the slate, we all got the Cowboys wrong. We're Cowboys fans. Yeah, they looked great. They looked great that game. CeeDee Lamb, you single-handedly lost us the game, along with Miles Sanders fumbling the ball.
I'm genuinely fine with what
was too.
So
I kept telling people, I'm like, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm not that hurt. We played well. I saw it coming.
Dude, I know.
I called this from a mile away. Neutral field. There's something weird about Brazil, man. I don't know if it's all the thongs everywhere or the Brazilian women. What an environment for a team led by Taylor Swift. Flat as a board to head in to Brazil with Justin Herbert dating Madison Beer,
Oh, I know.
looking like a man who dates Madison Beer against the Kansas City Chiefs, goes in to Brazil and beats the defending Super Bowl runner-ups basically by himself.
Yeah, man,
He looked incredible.
so dominant. Like, he looked like what when you see, like, because I think Michael argues just a bunch. He always argues the Burrow versus Herbert. He thinks Herbert's better. Dude, Herbert looked miles better, and I get Herbert's.
And we'll touch on Burrow a little bit later.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've got some beef.
Herbert's got obviously the better line, but nowhere near the weapons. And Herbert just went out there and diced up that Steve Spagnuolo defense. It looked beautiful.
It was gorgeous. Seeing 0-1 by the Chiefs' name brings a tear to my eye. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The Cardinals looked good until like the fourth quarter, where the Saints almost came back and tied this game up.
I know,
Weird.
which was really weird.
Shout out Spencer Rattler for turning it on. Alvin Kamara looked great.
Mm-hmm.
But Cardinals, we expected y'all to win.
The Dolphins are so bad.
So bad. We apologize, listeners, for leading you astray. We were not familiar with how atrocious, how terrible this Dolphins team was. And I should have learned my lesson. What happens when you take a key role, like skill player away from the New York Giants? They turn up.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones looked like the quarterback New York wanted him to be when they drafted him. All you had to do is take him away from New York.
Yeah. And I completely forgot about this too. This was Jim Irsay's rest in peace, but this was his like little
Memorial game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Colts.
I don't know.
It was murder. It was unconsensual what happened to the Dolphins today.
Geno Smith.
Big disappointment for the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
I was hopeful that Vrabel's debut would go well. Pete Carroll, you still got it, brother.
Yeah.
You went into New England and got that win. Prayers up for Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Especially for you.
He did get hurt, though, towards the end of the game, but Geno looked really good.
Yeah.
Like, outside of that one interception, which he threw in the triple coverage to Brock Bowers, but that's all right. All right. Gunslinger.
Luke, you saw it coming. Shouldn't have happened.
Hey,
There's no way this game should have gone the way it went.
I want to say this. The amount of hate I got for saying I can believe in Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 freaking touchdowns today. It was never a doubt in my mind. Now, the fact that they both scored 30 points is absurd. The Jets look good.
The Jets. So the reason I picked the Jets is they looked exactly how I thought that offense would look.
Yeah.
They looked great. If they do not fumble a return on special teams, the Jets win this football game. And we're not having this discussion. Aaron Rodgers looked elite. But so did Justin Fields.
I know. Fields looked so good.
The Jets are going to be players in the AFC East.
They will.
But it sure as hell ain't going to be the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So.
Washington, whatever.
Yeah, that game is such a whatever. I mean, yeah, congrats. But you didn't look good.
Also, the Giants had it. Oh, they ran 7 plays inside the 5 and didn't score. They'd kick a field goal. Just went like they went first and goal, second goal, third and goal, fourth and goal, penalty, first down, first and goal, second goal, third and goal, field goal.
So the Giants, I give y'all way too much credit for being in my opinion, the best 4-13 team I was ever going to watch. No, your offense is a ghost. Y'all are terrible. How does Malik Neighbors not score a touchdown in your league opener?
I know.
Absolutely horrible. Bench Russell Wilson, put in Jameis Winston, and we'll have a little bit more fun out there with the G-Men. Wow.
Yeah.
Did not see it coming. Shout out. What did he say? What was that goofy thing? He's goal.
Now, I have completely lost all faith in Bryce Young. I honestly thought this was going to be a big, I'm going to eat my words here. Me and Michael are the same. I thought this was a big year for Bryce Young. He looked really good on the tail end of last year. You have the second year in the system, who the coach is a great quarterback whisperer. People forget he was the one who originally revived Baker's career in Tampa. But holy crap. I saw that first half, or up until the delay, and I dropped him. He was on my bench in fantasy, and I just immediately dropped him. He sucked.
Yeah. Look, I had the Panthers winning like 6 games. I don't even know if they're gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm.
The Jaguars look good though.
No,
Shout out them. I told y'all. Okay, y'all are overhyping 2 teams specifically, and those 2 teams specifically looked overhyped today. But we'll get to that one, and I'm gonna lay into that one too.
yeah.
The Bengals, I'm mightily disappointed in.
I'd be somewhat worried.
I'm worried.
They did not protect Burrow at all. It wasn't as bad as Stroud, but
We called that.
oh,
He got killed.
He got killed. But I mean, Burrow had no protection, and like Burrow really couldn't get the ball at the chase. I think he only threw for 100-something yards. It's very embarrassing performance.
Another pick I was alone with that I should have won probably today was the Falcons. They should have won that football game. But shout out Amika Egbu. I don't even know. Mbuka?
Mbuka.
Mbuka. Shout out you, dude. Played like a dog today.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, I love watching him play. I thought they were going to split. They're definitely going to split.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to split.
Also, I mean, the Bucs kicker, have him in fantasy. He absolutely sold. He missed a 40-yarder. Then he misses the extra point on their last touchdown. I was about to have an aneurysm.
Well, let's not act like Young Wei Koo had a stellar game either.
Oh, I know.
It was such your typical NFC style game.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. What was actually a better game than I wanted it to be. And it was just kind of a hard game to watch. The Niners looked terrible.
I know.
And we thought they were going to be bad. I didn't think they were going to be this bad.
Yeah.
And they beat a very inferior opponent in Seattle, and they looked just as inferior doing it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Seattle, I will say, it's the toughest place outside of Arrowhead to play. But, like, dude, I mean, you get bailed out because Bosa pushes the offensive lineman into Darnold, causing a fumble. I mean, like, that offense, Purdy. Now, one of them, I think one of his picks was like a tip drill. I mean, so I won't really put it all on him. But one of them, dude, he threw it right to the guy. Purdy looked very mid at best after just getting a massive bag.
I told y'all. I did. That team looked awful today.
Yeah.
The Titans should have won this game on 3 different occasions. Bo Nix had 3 picks?
Yeah, I think he had 3 turnovers. I
3
think
turnovers,
it was
2 picks and a fumble. Yeah, I told y'all. I mean, sophomore slump, dude. It's incoming. You beat a bottom feeder AFC South team at home by 8, and it really shouldn't have been 8. Cam Ward looked great.
Yeah, and I will say this, though. That Denver defense, it is stout.
It is stout.
I know Michael was hyping up the Bo Nix. I was more leaning. I thought Bo Nix was going to be solid. Did not think he'd play like this, obviously. I thought he'd just do his same thing as last year, just be solid. And that defense was going to win them football games because they got after Campbell.
They did today. But damn, Bo Nix looked bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
You know who else looked bad?
The Lions.
The Lions. No longer my Super Bowl favorites. Even though I picked the Cowboys, I feel better about my Cowboys pick than I would if I picked the Lions.
Yeah, that offense looked abysmal. I mean, I get they lost Ben Johnson, who was a phenomenal play caller, and they lost Aaron Glenn. But you still have all those weapons on offense, and you still have that loaded defense. There is no reason that y'all should not have scored a touchdown until garbage time.
100%.
Embarrassing.
Derrick Henry has 101 rushing yards already in the second quarter. They are up 17-7.
Jesus.
Buffalo is in the red zone, though. So that's what we're talking. Oh, and yeah, we saw the Rams coming. The Texans offense could be terrible due to their offensive line. Defense looked good, though.
No, yeah. And what even stinks for the Texans even more, they had an offensive lineman get hurt.
Yep.
So you're going further into that depth chart.
Shout out Troy Long, Jake Anderson. Sorry, you got hurt, buddy. Damn.
Yeah, that sucks.
It is. He was great for us. We're all gonna be wrong with this Bills pick, I assume. There's no way I think tomorrow that the Vikings lose that football game.
It's the Bears.
Yeah, we'll get into it. There's our leaderboard for the picks right now. Expect a loss, one more on each of them for tonight's game, and then expect a loss on Big Mike tomorrow. But we'll see. We could eat those words.
Hey, I'm just looking a lot better in the NFL. So
100%.
at least he got
Me too.
that.
All right. Another segment we'll be doing with the NFL. Teams of the week and teams that are weak. So, our teams of the week. I think rightfully, in my opinion, the L.A. Chargers looked incredible offensively against the Chiefs. Defense gave a lot of points. You're going to against Patrick Mahomes, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce. But the Chargers, they're a force to be reckoned with. The AFC West, they are my team of the week. Luke, talk to me about your team of the week.
I mean, I was on the fence. It was either going to be the Steelers. The Steelers Jets, I think you could put here at all because the Jets are far exceeding my expectations. But the Packers, I get you're in Lambeau, but they shut down that Lions offense.
They did.
All the weapons they have, they completely shut them down. And then they just marched all over them on defense. I was highly, highly impressed.
I was too. I was honestly more disappointed in Detroit than I was impressed by Green Bay. And also, I want to talk about this. They're going to hype them up about pressure and all that. 1 tackle, 1 sack. Micah Parsons did not do anything spectacular today for Green Bay. And rightfully so. Kenny Clark had a better game for Dallas than Micah Parsons did for Green Bay.
Yeah, because Saquon only had, I think 3.5 yards a carry.
Yep. D-line looked great. Wonder why. Nah, you're weak. I think these are the 2 obvious choices.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the New York Football Giants. Offense is abysmal with the weapons you have now. It shouldn't be. Luke, it's by far the bottom of the totem pole today. Talk to me about your week.
Dude, Tua, I mean,
he looks like he never recovered from his concussions.
I know. And, to go into the half and only have 40 yards of offense against the freaking Colts of all
The
teams.
Colts.
I mean, it was abysmal. He had 2 or 3 picks where it's he's throwing it. There's just nobody there. It's just hitting the defensive back right in the chest. I mean, it was abysmal. And, I get the Dolphins weren't going to be that good. You still have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, A-Chain. I mean, they have
weapons.
They should not have lost at how much they lost by the Colts.
I mean, they got killed by the Colts. Our top performers of the week. My number 1 top performer, I'll give you a fist bump. Good job. A-Rod, 4 touchdowns. Can't disagree with it. Your top performer easily could have been mine, but because you had him as your top and we already have one in agreement, I wanted to leave him off my list. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about DJ.
Danny Dimes, 22 of 29, 272 yards, a 75% completion percentage. And he threw 1 touchdown. Dude, he looked phenomenal today.
He did. He ran for 2, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was responsible for 3 touchdowns.
Big fantasy day. If for whatever reason you were crazy enough to start Daniel Jones. My number 2 player of the week is someone everyone kind of had written off at running back. Didn't think he was going to be that much of a presence.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he was. 8.9 yards per carry, 16 carries, 143 yards. Did not find the end zone, but anchored this Jaguars offense. Travis Etienne Jr. is back. He looked great.
He had
for
that
Jacksonville.
big 50-yard run, too.
Travis looked great. This person everybody thought was going to have a down year because of the offensive system he was in. Talk to me about your number 2.
I want one more fact on Danny Dimes, though. He's the first quarterback on every drive that he's been in, I think, since Brady, to score on every possession.
That's incredible. Shout out Daniel Jones.
This is not including the kneel down, too. So, anyways, I had Debo. I mean, in our points, or in our fantasy, he gets points. He had 50 return yards, so that's 5 points. Then he had 7 receptions for 77 yards. Plus, he had a rushing touchdown for 20 yards. He had 20-something, or I think he almost had 30 points in fantasy.
He was 29.
Yeah, and of course, he's on my bench. So,
right, and that's the only reason he did well.
Yeah,
because he's on your bench.
I know.
Again, Aaron Rodgers, your number 3, and then rightfully so, we've already touched on him. Justin Herbert, my 3rd top performer of the week. Dun 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 dun.
Dun dun
dun dun dun dun dun dun.
dun.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all good. It's almost Monday Night Football. The mighty Minnesota Vikings head in to the Bears to face Caleb Williams and his painted nails in the Chicago Bears. Brother, best bets, not even close. Take the Vikings to cover 1.5. It's even money. Throw the mortgage on it, brother. And not the mortgage. Luke's too.
There's no way Justin Jefferson does not score. You have no Jordan Addison. Who is J.J. McCarthy going to rely on? The sure hands of Justin Jefferson. I mean, I can maybe see Hawkinson too, because
Or Thielen.
Thielen. I mean, but only thing with Thielen, he hadn't been all off season. But I would like Hawkinson too, because everyone relies on that sure hands of that tight end. So, but I love Jefferson, and it's at plus money.
It is at plus money. Obviously, you know who we think going to win this game? Skull Vikings. One. Let's. I can't remember it. I hearing myself in my headphone messed me up. Skull Vikings. Let's win the game. Anyway, Minnesota. I'm gonna give a final score prediction here. 35-17.
I'm going to go 31-21.
Okay.
I do think this Bears offense scores a little bit, and I'm putting a lot of faith in JJ. I mean, I could also very easily see this being like 17-10.
I could too.
Really
I think it's just going to be too much weapons on offense for the Vikings. Overwhelms that Bears defense. I think they get it done. So, we made a mistake. We thought this was last weekend. No, it was this weekend. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see white for where it should be green and red for right and wrong. Those fights never even happened. Keita missed weight, got cut from the UFC. I'm not 100% sure what happened with Ziam and Fernandez, but Bukauskas knocked out Paul Craig brutally at the end of the first round with an elbow. Jones went out and beat Oki, one of our fan favorites, a fighting nerd, and Mauricio Ruffy. Took the L against Benoit Saint Denis in France. I get it. And the only one I got right that y'all got wrong, I thought Amavov beating Brawlo. It's tough to make 2 weight cuts in such a short amount of time, and that proved what I said, if you go back and listen to episode 1, is exactly what happened. I said it was going to go to decision, and Amavov was going to dominate rounds 3, 4, and 5. That's what happened in this fight. So, you didn't watch this, did you?
No.
There was way too much football on.
Yeah,
I was at a football game, so that's about
2 o'clock too.
Yeah. It was prime time football watching, so we're apologizing to our UFC audience. That will never happen for a pay-per-view. I promise you, we were going to have full breakdowns for every one of those fights. But we wanted to touch on our picks since we did make them. And we're going to touch now around the world of sports. Luke, you have a segment that's going to introduce a new wave of Swiss Army Sports, something we want you, our audience, to know that we will cover on this podcast. Luke, what's going around the world of sports?
Big returns in the WWE this week. SmackDown, AJ Lee makes her awaited return along CM Punk's side, attacking Becky. It was Seth Rollins. I mean, the AJ Lee stuff has been hinted at being returned forever, and I honestly thought she was coming out in the Rumble this year.
Me too.
I mean, but I'm glad that she's back. And then Triple H, does his signature photo after. The caption is, "You're always welcome back home."
A little bit of a shot, maybe.
He might be calling back good old Dean Ambrose and Sasha Banks, but I mean,
I would lose it. I would lose it if Dean Ambrose returned. Oh,
I'm not as much of a carer for Sasha, but dude, if Dean came back, or Jon Moxley,
Dean Ambrose, if he came back,
it would be electric.
It would be electric. I want to touch on a little bit of baseball because our favorite team did win this weekend. The St. Louis Cardinals are still fighting in this wild card race. They got the job done today against the San Francisco Giants, and yesterday 3-2 against the Giants. And we faltered on Friday. That's all right. Friday's not our day.
Hey, win 2 out of 3, win the series.
Absolutely.
Keep marching.
The Rays, very disappointing. Got swept by the Guardians. Oh, not swept. It was a 4-game series. They won on Thursday. But you can't lose 3 out of 4 this close to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to go ahead and mention the Seattle Mariners hung 18 on the Braves today, 18-2.
18?
They had 20 hits. The Dodgers did beat the Orioles today.
I got a little fact about that, though. So I think this was yesterday. The Dodgers, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 8 2/3, hitless, gives up a bomb to Jackson Holiday. Whatever. They take him out for the bullpen. The Orioles are down 3-1 at this point. They end up coming back and beating the Dodgers 4-3. They had 4 hits, I think, in the Dodgers. Let's see, hold on. The Dodgers had 10 hits. The Orioles had 3. And to mention the Dodgers on a huge slide as of late, just lost a series to the Orioles, who suck. Got swept by the Pirates, which would never have guessed that. Lost a series to the Diamondbacks. I mean, they are on a huge freaking slide.
Yes, they are. The Padres are 1 game back of the Dodgers in the NL West. The Dodgers are now the 3 seed in the NL. The wild card race is, the Cardinals are 4.5 games back. They're
right there.
Crawling back in, and they're beating the Giants, who they had to beat. The Rays 4 games back. The Rangers 1.5 from the Mariners. So the MLB wild card, we're going to talk about it on Wednesday. It's going to be heating up. It's almost October, and that excites me. We are about to hit the first peak of sports season, which is the return of the NHL, the MLB playoffs, the heart of the early college football and NFL seasons. This podcast is about to be rolling. And don't even mention to me the UFC cards in October. Oh, my God.
And, you're going to have the NBA starting up, plus college basketball are going to start playing some scrimmages. We're going to get all the reports on the secret scrimmages, and, some team's going to be hyped up, and we're going to revisit it a month later, and they're going to be so dog-ass. I cannot wait.
And so, just to give y'all college basketball fans a little preview, there is a chance when we get a little bit more time on our hands, we're going to break down at least the college basketball slate more often than we record right now. And there will be bracketology. I have been doing bracketology under the alias Memphis Game Day for the last 7 years. I am ranked on that bracketology website. If you look it up, we beat ESPN, Fox, and CBS Sports last year.
Let's go.
Look, college basketball is going to be one of the hearts of this podcast. It is just something we can give you a little tidbit about because no one else knows the mid-majors like me and Luke.
Yeah.
We feed off of 5 p.m. tips on a Tuesday.
In the Patriot League.
The Patriot League.
Dude,
don't even get me started on Colgate.
Dude, you're 14, 15 seeds, the potential upsets, the amount of just random college basketball games that we watch that are probably smaller gyms than our high school gym is absurd.
And that's why we do so well in our brackets. It's because we know who's going to upset who. We're not surprised when little UMBC is a 16 seed against Virginia. And I'm like, hell, they match up pretty well. My best bet of my... Nah, not going to touch on that. We'll save that for college basketball. We're not going to give away too much.
Yeah.
We're not going to give away too much. All right. Michael's not here. This is how we enter our podcast. We talk about things that make us happy. Top 3 things that happened this weekend. I'm going to start us off. Number 1, I have not been happier in the last 6 months than I was at halftime of the Troy Clemson game. I genuinely thought in my heart, I'm going to be able to walk out of here with a dub. Did it happen? No. However, I could not have been happier with how Troy played. What was your number 1?
Scott Hansen. Red Zone is back. And I will say this.
It wasn't as bad as people made it out to be.
Yes. The ad thing was they took the box, they shifted it here, showed a little DraftKings thing, and the game
that was
still
it.
on. And I'm like, I am completely fine with that. The ads were not an issue. Like, if it was a full screen, like, commercial, I'd be a little angry.
Me too.
But it is still technically 7 hours of commercial free. This is an ad. It's not ad free. It is commercial free, technically. So that's
Dude,
why Scott Hansen's my one.
I can handle a DraftKings commercial. It happens to UFC pay-per-views. It happens to I'm just makes me go and look at my DraftKings. To be
Yeah,
honest with you.
it is. That's what it did for me.
My number 2 is no delays. I have had one hell of a time flying this past year. I had to spend another night in a foreign country because American Airlines could not get me out. Shout out Canada. We had no delays in our flights, which was huge because our layovers were both under 45 minutes both ways. Shout out the Greenville, South Carolina airport. Very small, very easy to maneuver. TSA was smooth with it. Shout out to Delta and Southwest Airlines. No delays. Could have been happier with how travel went this weekend.
And I want to speak on American because I went to the Cowboys-Eagles game last year and was flying out of Memphis. They canceled their flight. They rebooked me on Sunday mornings. I'm going to the TCU game on Saturday. Of course, I didn't buy the stupid insurance because, like, who buys the stupid insurance? It was an extra $10. I was like, oh, it's not going to get canceled. Massive mistake. So I had to rebook a flight on Southwest, and they got me there.
Southwest never fails.
I know, and I'm just like, screw you, American.
This is not an American Airlines podcast. I will promise you that much. And don't even get me started on United. Luke, you're number 2.
It's another great weekend with some great upsets. Like watching Baylor come back in that game, as I am already like 9 beers deep, and I'm going nuts because Sawyer Robinson is leading them down the field and scoring. And then they obviously, I think SMU missed that field goal in overtime. It is just electric. And also USF, Grammatica misses the 50-yard.
Did you see the picture of him and the whole
Dude, where they were kissing?
Dude, the way they were looking at each other. I've had some game-winning situations in college football. There is no chance you would ever catch me looking at another man like that. I mean, they were staring into each other's eyes.
I know.
It made me a little uncomfortable.
It also made me uncomfortable because I legit thought they were about to start making out, and I really did not want to see that.
It wasn't something I wanted to see.
Yeah, and then I want to shout out Army. Kind of called that last week.
Let's go. Kansas State is a dumpster fire.
Manhattan is awful right now. We are down in the dumps. I mean, I thought Avery Johnson would be like, take that next step at quarterback, be able to win him a few games. He just looked freaking awful.
Terrible.
And Army just lost to Tarleton State. I mean, you're paying Army $1.1 million or something to come in, and they're going to upset you at home.
Look, the troops, they're back. All right, they're so back. All right, my number 3, Hail State. It was so awesome laying down in my hotel room. Cable gave out, came back on. State's got the ball. Go route, touchdown dogs, celebrating. Michael sends me videos of him rushing the field. Could have been a better night in Starkville. Was so happy for him. Hail State, go dogs. Luke, I had a feeling this was going to be your number 3.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't like happy me. I was kind of running out of like happy stuff this weekend because obviously Sunday revolves all around fantasy football, as I think
my team is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah. I have 2 guys on my bench, 25 plus. It was bad. I started AJ Brown, who has 1.9 points. AJ Brown will not be starting on my fantasy football team, but I had Deebo Samuel on my bench and Emeka Ibuka on my bench. I also had Kyle Pitts had a good game today. He had like 13 points.
Wow.
I mean, my bench and Geno Smith's on my bench, which he dropped a bunch of points. Like, I mean, obviously, I have a outside chance. I got like a 40% chance to win, but at least I know if Deebo Samuel, I'm very confident in him going forward because, dude, Jaden Daniels threw the ball to him almost more than he threw it to Scary Terry today. So I'm actually pretty confident And my bench, sadly, I'm leaving 50 points where I could have put it in. But that's a good sign for future.
It is.
So we're scoring.
As it stands right now, Yahoo's giving me an 84% chance to win, so I'm feeling pretty good. We'll see how we feel after Aaron Jones Sr. plays on Monday night for Chuck. This has been episode 4 of Swift Summary Sports. I am Will Spain.
I am Luke Wildman.
And we will see y'all on Wednesday.